Hello, everybody. Yes. All right, like that over there. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Owen Peacock with Toyota Marketing, and we'd like to welcome you to the Toyota Media VIP event. Here to give you all an early, first-hand look at our 2024 SEMA builds. Now, we've partnered with a ton of builders, creators, and fabricators, basically automotive artists who are here to bring all of their visions to life. And we've left no stone unturned, no bolt unturned. We've got everything from our exciting GR lineup. We've got off-road badass trucks. We've even got a doom-busting RAV for you all to check out, sure to be an epic one. And in addition to that, we have factory vehicles here to showcase our associated products with our partners, APP. And in addition to that, we also have Kevin Hunter here from CALTY Design. He's going to help guide you guys through the design process that he went through and his team went through for the Land Cruiser ROX concept. And so here at SEMA, I think we all understand that when it comes to cars, trucks, creativity, and modification, there is no better place than SEMA. So we want to thank all of our team who made this happen. Thank to all of you for being here to share this with us.
Welcome everybody, we're so glad y'all could be here with us. My name's Rutledge Wood. I've met a bunch of y'all before last year, whether it's doing Top Gear, covering NASCAR, any of the fun things I've done, or if you have kids and you know me from the floor is lava, welcome. I'm so happy to be here. I think this is my 13th year as a Toyota ambassador. And I had this idea, and what I love is there is a wonderful culture at Toyota. If you have an idea, talk about it, share it, brainstorm. And when Richard Petty, a part of Legacy Motors, that team got sold to Jimmy Johnson, and then it came over to Toyota, I thought this is the perfect opportunity for us to celebrate the Petty family, 75 years in racing. And I started thinking about the most iconic cars the King has ever driven, and the 71 Superbird to me really jumps out. Whether you saw it in cars or if you saw it in publications of what it was, I was obviously too young to see it in person on the track. But I thought, what if we did a modern interpretation of that now that the King is a Toyota ambassador? What if we make the Supra Bird? So I've used a great play on the word to create this. This was my daily driver Supra. We tore the whole thing apart, Petty blue painted it everywhere. The coolest thing for me is I wanted to be able to do the car the ways that they would have done in 1971. So the 43 on the roof of the doors is hand painted in Georgia by a guy named Chaston Brand. And I really tried to match the wheels as close as I could. The King was running in 71 on that Superbird, almost a royal steel wheel. I played around with it. My buddy John Sabal helped me design it. I didn't think the solid wheel really paid any homage to the car, so we went with a three-piece on this car. But what I love is that this is the kind of thing that I'm going to take on the Hot Rod Power Tour and actually put some miles on, because I have all the functionality of a brand new Supra underneath it still. So really excited. We're going to unveil this to the King tomorrow. The King means a lot to me because his son Kyle is one of my best friends. We met covering NASCAR in 2005. And Kyle has been a huge part of my life and my career ever since. So I've been working with Kyle, keeping this a secret from the King. So if you see the King later randomly, it'd be great if you don't shout about it. I'd love that, just because I want him to be excited tomorrow. But this is the kind of thing that I felt like was a cool way. Now I recognize that some people will think this is a little bit sacrilegious and they're going to make fun of me online, and I welcome that. And that's just fine. But a lot of other people are going to love this because it really is the perfect culmination of an icon in our sport, how far he has come, how far the sport has come, and more than anything, how proud Toyota is to be a partner of Richard Petty. So I hope you guys love it. This is my Superbird. John, there's more fun stuff though as people head this direction. And I'm going to hand you. Oh yes, you're ready.
I am ready. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Parker Thomas. I am the planner for the GR family in terms of marketing. And this one's a little bit of a fun one here. You'll notice some familiar cars here, as it stands for the GR86. This one came as, one night of playing some old heritage, some vintage video games with a good buddy of mine, and I thought,
wouldn't it be cool if we could build something like this for SEMA? Something that really pays homage to the old Celica GT4 rally cars of yesteryear. You know, that old C word, I can't say it, but that old livery here with the green and red, iconic colors there. And so, in the spirit of what Rhett said about bringing ideas forward, I brought this idea to Basic Motorsports in Los Angeles, California, and told them, hey, I'd like to build a car that really pays homage to the old Celica GT4. It's got a full all-wheel drive powertrain, 3-cylinder turbo, all the works, all that good stuff. Full-blown race car. So we took the powertrain of a GR Corolla, engine, G16E GTS, the 6-speed manual transmission, as well as the full GR4 all-wheel drive system, and put it into this car and turned it into a full-blown tarmac rally machine. So this one's a lot of fun. Really pays homage to the old ST185 Celica, ST205 Celica. So I hope you guys really enjoy this one. Well, next, I think I'm going to hand it over to Kevin of CALTY, wherever Kevin is.
So just a little background about this vehicle first. I'm Kevin Hunter from CALTY Design. This is Adam Rabinowitz. Adam's the chief designer at our Ann Arbor, Michigan design studio. We also have a studio in Newport Beach, California. So our CALTY team was part of the original global design group that designed the Land Cruiser 250. So this was a super exciting project for us to be involved in. Our main goal was really to take the 250 and expand the experience to a Land Cruiser enthusiast. So we thought, what better way than to create an open air Land Cruiser. And we also want to be fairly believable that it could possibly have potential to be a production model as well. I'm not saying it is at all. It's a concept, it's a study, but it's believable in certain context. So it has a lot of really cool features, and I'm going to turn it over to Adam, and he's going to explain everything to you.
Thank you, Kevin. So, about that fantasy meets reality, this was all built to be authentic and functional and real. And by that I mean we have a working midgate, which the tailgate opens, so we switched it from a lift gate to a tailgate. We made sure it had seating area, the midgate pulls down. Other cool things that aren't noticeable to the eye is that everything on the vehicle is actually authentic. So this is actually a fabricated steel bumper. All the skid plates, we engineering cut up tools and actually stamped them. So they're not millings, they are actually stamped skid plates. So working on these kind of projects are super fun, and we wanted to make sure that everything was a hint to Land Cruiser heritage and authentic. So I could walk you around the car a little bit, though it's really tough with so many people, so maybe I'll go that way, I don't know. So some of the things that you'll see that are definitely on the bendy side, but very cool. We wanted to make sure that the open air was captured not only through the roof, but through the doors. So we have these really cool half doors, gives you that feeling of the outdoors at all times. And then other off-roading things like protectors, A-pillar protectors. These are all things that are important for off-roaders. Again, even the brush guard was actually stamped steel. This isn't just a put-together model. But as we opened the vehicle up, like I said, we were having fun, but we wanted to make sure that it was just the coolest version of a Land Cruiser that we could think of. And what cooler way to have a Land Cruiser than to be outdoors and feel the outdoors like this. So that's what we were thinking of, and that's what we made.
So Modelista is basically a brand that TMC in Japan owns in-house, and it is the #1 body kit manufacturer in all of Japan. This is kind of a test exercise for them to test the North American market and also see if something like this would be interesting from a global perspective, since they do dominate the Japanese market. So they have things like the rack, and there's a usable container on the side, a few other things beyond just the normal body kits that don't have any function. So Yeah, it is a bit extreme. The green is one of the Modelista brand colors. Also, they have a booth in North Hall where they have a couple of vehicles as well from our friends on the Lexus side. So just kind of moving along here, we'll go to the Baja Cruiser Race Edition. And this is something that you could literally see racing in a score race, right? In the Baja 500 or the Baja 1000. You can see a dual dry brake, and you can see it has a full cage and beautiful long travel control arms, all the kinds of accoutrements that you find in something that would actually go to Baja. So it's a real beautiful fabrication on this vehicle here. You have the classic adventure cruiser, obviously classic with the colors that you see there, and bit lifted on the big tires with the steel wheels. You see the custom suspension on it. The wrap, it's got a number of one-off prototype parts on it. Kind of speaks for itself. All right, and then as we're buzzing through here real quick, we get to Rutledge and we'll park here for a while, right, Rut?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Guys, I don't know if you noticed this, there's a crazy hot pink rainbow sparkle pickup truck here. This is mine. This is the truck I've been building for the last 5 years with my friends. This was sort of a combination of the truck that I wish I had had in high school. All the cool dudes at my school had Toyota trucks. I did not have one. I always dreamed of it. But I also wanted to build something that was a mix of kind of all of my favorite things, which obviously the color pink, having 3 daughters and being a girl dad was a big part of it, but also having something that was to me like JDM inspired, but also like mini truck forward. So this is the crazy thing that we built. We started building this 5 years ago with my friend Tyler, and we lost Tyler to cancer about a year and a half ago, and he had helped me so much on this truck and what we were going to do with it, and so many different ideas to have this big hydraulic handbrake in there, to do the tubs up front, but we then added a little lowrider flare in there. So it just is one of these things that kept snowballing. It went into their shop to have some suspension work done, and then it left 5 years later as the truck you see before you. So it's a beautiful labor of love of my friends in Atlanta, and you can read a little bit more about the shop that put it together. But there's one thing for me I had to have, not only having daughters but living in the South, was air conditioning, but because of the intercooler we had to work real hard on that. So we have moved the radiator to the back. There's a custom fuel cell back here. Everything on the truck pretty much is custom. And if you've seen a lot of these, you'll know they've gone up in price and people think they're plated in gold. This was a couple in my town that had a antique business, and I would always stop by and say like, hey, what do you guys gonna let me get the truck? And then finally one day they were like, sure, you can get it. And they forgot to mention that they had blown the head gasket, so that was a pretty fun adventure for me. But just ended up being why we put in the 1JZ in there with the, we kept the twin turbos, we rebuilt them with drift motion. And we've really tried to make something that I feel like is the perfect mix of me in high school versus me today, with a little JDM flair, a little mini trucking vibes too. But the rainbow sparkle magenta is definitely something that I am super proud of, and my friend Steve let me put it here in the middle of the booth somehow. Thank you, Steve, for that. So yeah, it's a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll with all of these silly things put together, but something different here in the booth. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, from the Rutledge Awesome Truck over to our RAV-X. We are RAV4 line, some love. Our SVAD engineers, that's our accessories team and our engineering team, they were looking at, say, what would kind of be happening in Dakar for that kind of race, and that was sort of their inspiration. And maybe they took a vehicle that would be a little bit less likely to do something like this, and they wanted to experiment with it. One of the things that it's got is some Fox shocks, bypass shocks. First time that they've explored this kind of an off-road in a McPherson strut, right? So that's kind of unique. And then the last thing that I would just say about this is RAV4 has evolved over time, as you guys know. At one point, I don't know if you guys know this piece of trivia, I know Steve Applebaum does, but the RAV4 at one point was the fastest vehicle in Toyota's lineup. We've come a long way, right? But it was cool, and also it used to have a tire on the back and all of that stuff. It grew, it got a lot bigger. But the other reason why our SBAD team wanted to explore this is as RAV4 evolves and as the segment evolves, we're looking at where does RAV4 go next. So this is just a little bit of an exploration, a little bit of an exercise, see what you guys think, and for us to kind of tease around where might the RAV4 line go.
All right, everybody, come on this way to the ultimate Tailgate Tundra. This thing is pretty cool. All right, so a lot of people know, I hope you do know, that last year around this time, we actually became the official automotive sponsor of the NFL. We are very excited about this partnership. We know a lot of fans who like the NFL. They also own Tundras, and they take their Tundras to games. Some people don't even go into the stadiums. They just sit there in their Tundras or in their whatever they bring, and they make sure that they are tailgating and having a good time. So we decided to create, along with the next generation Tundra that we introduced for model year 22, we decided to combine these two passions of ours, our love of trucks and our love for the NFL, and we are recommending the NFL Ultimate Tailgate Tundra. And so this vehicle has 5 TVs. You can play 5 different TVs, or different games. You can play one game on 5 different screens. So it really combines the AV love that people love about the NFL games with the Tundra, but it's not just about the NFL. We can also watch any other games that we choose to go, and like the Gold Cup next summer, so we're very excited about that. This is the Ultimate Tailgate Tundra. Right now I'm going to turn it over to Chris to talk about Tacoma.
Thank you, Tyler. Can we go over this way? I'd love to show you guys the number 84 Tacoma TRD Pro Runner Race Concept. Now this truck is a vision for what a single-leg off-road racing series could hypothetically look like within the Toyota line. And obviously Toyota has an amazing reputation and legacy in the off-road racing space, and who better to partner with to promote our racing legacy than Legacy Motor Club that we recently brought into the Toyota fold this year. And something you may know, one of the people who leads up the Legacy Motor Club now, along with the Pennies, is Jimmy Johnson. And people who, obviously, people know Jimmy for his NASCAR racing, but what a lot of people don't actually realize is that he started his racing career off-road racing and in desert racing. Furthermore, something that he told us when we had a big chat with him to discuss this build was that his connection to Toyota extends beyond his professional relationship right now, that he actually learned how to drive and passed his driving test in his uncle's Toyota pickup, which we love. And there's a few little hidden accents that throw in there. One of the things that we do love about this build is also showcasing the amazing engineering that went into the Tacoma from Sten. So it's actually got a lot of the TRD Pro suspension and off-road goodies brought down into this extra cab configuration. And with that, I'm going to hand back over to Dylan.
Here I am. Thank you. Tacoma is amazing. Okay, guys, we're going to land on our last build here, which is our 4Runner TRD Surf Concept. And let me ask you a question. Does anyone here remember a 4Runner with a removable top in the 80s?
Of course we do. We all loved it.
Who is that? Is that the voice of God?
Yes. No.
Okay. Yeah, no, so we did all love it. We also, Ron, did you remember there was a Hilux Surf?
Oh, absolutely.
There was a Hilux Surf. There was a removable top 80s motor, and Marty Schwerter in our Motorsports Technical Center had this idea because he had a Hilux back when a 4Runner was too expensive at that age for him to afford, but he always dreamed of having this. Did you dream of that too? Yeah? Okay. So one of the things that I will point out is, can you guys see how many doors are on this thing? There are only 2 doors, so Jake, here, we're going to do a quick experiment. You guys can get in too.
There you go, Don.
You guys, yeah, I'm inside the vehicle.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
2-door, seat flip forward, there you are.
The roll bar. The top has 6 latches that it comes off. It's a much, much wider truck. Actually, the rear end is a Tundra rear end. It's got Tacoma internals in it. Tons of prototype suspension. It's got all sorts of cool surf wood floors in here, custom hood, and you'll notice, I think on the door, Jake, is it stamped? Yeah, so that's an out. Where we used to stamp turbo in, so we stamped it out. I believe this got done, Paul, this got done in Kentucky. I think it got done in Kentucky. And then in the back, you can see the TRD Surf in the back, got done in Japan. And then the waves that are on the front, Jake, we had some waves there. Those are not added on, that's molded into the bumper that way. So